Hey YouTube, so I posted a video on Michael Echanis' style of knife throwing. Michael Echanis was one of the founding members of Orang Do, and his techniques are covered in his book Knife Fighting and Knife Throwing for Combat. Um, Take what you want out of it, it's for informational purposes only. Alright, the knives I'm using are two cold steel true flats, and how I'm going to be applying today is related to his knife fighting style. His knife fighting style revolves around two knives, both gripped in ice pick hold. His throwing style revolves around a locked arm with a grip featuring an index finger pointed forward. Another signature feature of his throwing style was a flaring movement of the non-throwing arm. One of the cool aspects about Echanis throwing is that it can be applied to any style. You can apply the lock arm method to all rotational styles and a few of the no spin styles. But the locking of the arm and pointing at the target greatly increases accuracy. You can literally point at the target or a speck at the target, and with practice you can hit it. The motion I'm using with my left arm is a flaring motion. This is described in his diagrams, and is, from what I've read, used to distract the opponent. Apart from that, it serves no purpose. Alright, so here I'm back about 4 yards, throwing about the handle. Virtually the same technique as the blade throw. The arm flaring, I really don't enjoy it. It's kind of distracting throwing it, but for traditional purposes, I'm just following what he does in the diagram. This right here is what he calls a 180 spin, or a wiping 180 spin, wiping referring to the non-throwing arm's action. That's what he calls a 180 backspin. At this point I'm getting kind of tired of the whipping motion, so I'm just going to go with that. This next technique is what he calls a dropping spin back throw. I have no idea how he intended to apply that to combat, but it was pretty fun, and I had a good time doing it. Alright, this next sequence comes from a diagram he has in his book entitled Retrieving the Weapon. What it demonstrates is a ukemi roll, or a combat roll, picking up the weapon while on the ground, and then throwing it. So here's a couple of shots at that. Again, I don't see the combat application, but it's pretty fun. Alright, here's a couple of his underhand throws. That's what he calls a direct underhand throw. The underhand throw is fairly easy, simply because most people don't follow through the underhand throws anyway, so this is what he calls a wiping underhand throw. And as you can see, it remembers a softball throw, but with a locked arm. This next sequence is me applying the Echanis style to a recreational or competition style of throwing. The throw is very relaxed and smooth, and the focus is accuracy, so speed isn't really necessary. Another method that the Echanis can be applied to is the Russian style. I showed this grip on my last video, and it's very compatible with the Echanis style because they both have strong emphasis on the index finger. Here's a throw a little longer range. This is what Echanis calls a direct overhand throw, and it is very compatible with the Russian grip. This is me applying the Echanis style to some no-spin throws. It's very difficult at long range simply because you need a downward wrist action to slow down the spin, but at close ranges it works pretty well. Your arm is not in direct line with the target. It kind of glances over to the side, but if you practice, your finger can still be pointed at the target, which is the whole goal of it. Alright, this is me applying the Echanis style with the lock arm method to 2 knives at once. The lock arm technique is controls the spin of the 2 knives and the weight very well. Alright, well that's all the instructional video I have. The rest of this is just me messing around, so here you go.